Radio City Originals.
Made in Kerala, made in Kerala.
Hi, this is Sanish Bhaskaran and Swagatam everyone to Radio City Original Made in Kerala, powered by Joy Alucas, the world's favorite jeweler. Let's connect with iconic Malayalis who have made Kerala proud across the globe. മലയാളിയാണോ എന്ന ചോദ്യത്തിന് ഇവർ പറയുന്നത് ഒരു ഉത്തരമാണ്. അതെ, മലയാളിയാണ്. The guest on today's episode of Radio City Original Made in Kerala, powered by Joy Alucas, is someone who has slapped Saif Ali Khan, slammed Priyanka Chopra, guided Rani Mukherjee, and scared the entire Malayali. She's there on big screen, she's there on small screen, and she's there on touch screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Chettamare Chechimare, for the very first time, I have a celebrity guest who has a birthday same as mine. Swagatam, Malayaliകളുടെ സ്വന്തം Suchitra Pillai.
Oh my God.
Hello ma'am, namaskaram.
Hey, wow, congratulations. Well, happy birthday. We both just had our birthday recently.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy belated birthday to you.
You too ma'am, thank you. സ്പെഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ട്
That's
തോന്നുന്നു.
true,
ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ്
that's true.
സെലിബ്രിറ്റി ഒക്കെ എന്നെ വിളിച്ച് വിഷ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കേട്ടോ. വളരെ സന്തോഷം.
Thank you for having me on the show.
മാം, യൂഷ്വലി നമ്മളുണ്ടല്ലോ ഈ രഹസ്യങ്ങൾ സീക്രട്സ് ഒക്കെ കുറച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ചോദിക്കാറ്. ബിക്കോസ് വി ഗെറ്റ് യൂസ് ടു ദി സെലിബ്രിറ്റി കോൺവെർസേഷൻ ഒക്കെ വന്നിട്ടൊക്കെ. പക്ഷെ മാം വന്നത് കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്ക് ഇരിപ്പ് ഉറയ്ക്കുന്നില്ല. ഐ എം സോ ഇംപേഷ്യന്റ് ആൻഡ് ഐ ഹാവ് ടു ആസ്ക് യു വൺ സീക്രട്ട്. 20 വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പാണ് ദിൽഷാദയെ ഞാൻ കാണുന്നത്. അതിലൊരു ക്യാരക്ടറിന് ഞാൻ കാണുന്നു. എന്റെ മുമ്പിൽ ആ വ്യക്തി ഇരിക്കുന്നു. മാമിനോട് ആരെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അറിയില്ല, ബട്ട് യു ആർ ദ ബ്രാൻഡ് അംബാസഡർ ഓഫ് ആന്റി ഏജിങ്.
You know what? When they tell me this, Sanish, all I say is, just put it down to the Mallu genes. Nangalde coconut oilum, nangalde fishum, angane whatever we eat. I think that is what has stood me in good stead, because no injections have touched this face. I'm telling you frankly, I'm 52 years old right now, and I have not succumbed to Botox, all of this at all.
എന്നാലും എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സീക്രട്ട് റെസിപ്പി ഉണ്ടോ മാം?
I think Ahatte, if you're happy, if you're happy inside and
Very
you're
true.
just comfortable in your own skin, whatever it is, whatever life throws at you, which life throws many curved balls at you, smile it off and not take life too seriously. I think that's what kind of shows from the inside out. You have to just be happy and content, I suppose, where you're at.
Wow. സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടോ. സുചിത്ര പിള്ളൈ എന്ന വ്യക്തിയെ അറിയാത്തവരാരും തന്നെ കാണില്ല. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എല്ലാ സ്ക്രീനിലും ഉണ്ട്. ആമസോൺ പ്രൈമിലാണെങ്കിലും നെറ്റ്ഫ്ലിക്സിലാണെങ്കിലും എവിടെ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാലും ഈ വ്യക്തി ഇവിടെ തന്നെയുണ്ട്. സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ പേരിൽ പിള്ളൈ എന്ന വാക്കുള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് ഒരു കാലത്ത് മനസ്സിലായത് ഈ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് മലയാളിയാണെന്ന്. എന്നിരുന്നാലും അറിയാത്തവരായിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് പേരുണ്ട്. അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമുക്കൊരു ഫ്ലാഷ് ബാക്കിലേക്ക് പോകാം. ഒരു ക്ലീഷേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഒരു മലയാളി മറ്റൊരു മലയാളിയോട് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്, നാട്ടിൽ എവിടെയാണ്? വേർ ആർ യു ഫ്രം?
Thiruvananthapuram.
ഓക്കെ, തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് എവിടെയാണ്?
Yes, Kaudiyar. Kaudiyar is where my father's side of the family was, and close to there only, I don't remember where, but Mannuvila is my mother's family name. So that was also close to Kaudiyar only, but my aunt and all still live in Kaudiyar. Meenakshi Mandiram, that was the name of my grandparents' house, which was very close to the Rama Devi Mandir in Thiruvananthapuram.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the goddess we follow, that's our mandir. And my whole childhood at Thiraprasham poittundu, from every holiday was Trivandrum and Chennai, Madras, where my grandparents of my mother's side were. Though both my parents from Trivandrum, both from Trivandrum, Kerala. My other grandparents lived in Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
But memories are so beautiful, Sanish, of Kerala for me, because very, very, not only from childhood, avade vacations was with Mumutashi and which is who I used to call my grandfather. Going to the zoo, in Trivandrum, that was the favorite thing. Eating the ice cream over there and going to the zoo. That was a famous. Every year it had to be done.
Okay.
But very beautiful times in Kerala. And then, of course, later on in life, my second marriage was also in Kerala. Was had in Kumarakom. So many memories.
Wow.
Yes.
പഠിക്കാൻ മോശമല്ല തോന്നുന്നു അല്ലേ? പഠിക്കാനൊക്കെ അത്ര മോശമല്ല തോന്നുന്നു.
No, I'm an electronics engineer.
അതായത് ചോദിക്കാൻ വിചാരിച്ചത്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണോ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ചൂസ് ചെയ്തത്?
No, I've never had a problem. പഠിക്കാനൊക്കെ ബോറായിരുന്നു, frankly speaking. School, I was not. My sister, she's a doctor. We had the typical South Indian daughters, I think, or an engineer or a doctor.
True.
But without any planning. School, I was interest. I know in not only in all this acting and all of this, where I did little bits and pieces in school, but I was very interested in science and maths, mainly physics and maths. Other South Indian brain pariyum. Everyone says so. South
Very
Indian
true.
brain, South Indian.
It has to be either doctor or engineer.
My sister from the 8th standard, she decided that she wants to be a doctor, and she didn't shift her focus.
Very focused.
Me, I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. Patang class also, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I'm still saying, what to do. By the end of the 10th standard, I got good marks. And then, Pasha, I'm not one of these study people. Last minute studies, literally last minute. Have coffee and sit and study, that type of thing. But after the 10th standard, when I decided, I got good marks and I said, I like physics and maths. I was very lucky because at that year itself, in a national college where I studied in Bombay, they started electronics as a subject, which had a lot of physics and maths. And you didn't have to do biology and you didn't have to do a second language.
Okay.
So I was like, yes, because I did not want to do medicine. Other 100% in any academy. I knew that I did not want to be a doctor that much. What else I wanted to do, I didn't know, but that I knew.
Not
so
sure.
This was good. And then after 2 years of junior college there, it's kind of a brainwash aipoi. Ellarum, in that class, you've done 2 years of electronics. Continue. Let's see how the marks are. And my marks were pretty good, so I did electronics engineering. So it was like that. But after engineering, I was never one like a lot of my friends. And doing your MD and then this and MS and ME and all these various things. And I had gotten married in my last year of engineering, my first marriage.
Okay.
At the I went to London. So I didn't want to work as an engineer there. I would have had to study 2 more years to work as an engineer there. And I was not really, very interested in it. And so I said, let's do a whole bunch of other things. And then that's how I started doing a whole bunch of other things. Amongst which, acting,
Got it.
Started over there in London.
എനിക്ക് ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് ചോദിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ്. യൂഷ്വലി സുചിത്ര പിള്ളൈ എന്ന ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിനെ ഇന്ന് ലോകത്തിന് ഒരുപാട് പേർക്ക് അറിയാം. എന്നാൽ ആദ്യം ഈ വ്യക്തിയെ ഒരു ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന നിലയിൽ കണ്ടത് മനുഷ്യന്റെ രൂപത്തിലല്ല. സത്യമാണോ? ഞാൻ പറയട്ടെ.
യെസ്.
അത് ഒരു എലിയുടെ രൂപത്തിലാണ് എന്നാണ്.
Sanish,
please explain.
Exactly. Please explain. My first acting experience, which I remember, literally, I was a rat in Cinderella on stage in school, 4th standard. Jake, the leader of the mice, in Cinderella. I had a role and everything like that. But and then you didn't ask because that time I looked like an Ellie. I looked exactly like a rat. I keep asking my parents. I kept asking my mother. Mama, you didn't get scared or what? That your daughter looks like this, like a complete rat. Weren't you ever worried? How is she going to grow up and what's she going to look like? Ayyo, I had bug teeth. Like this. This is how I used to look. Bug teeth. And I was Ellie bole, scrawny, thin, dark, just hair like this with a fringe. I really look like a rat. I really got into that role very easily. And that was my first opportunity of acting.
Okay.
But after that, I, always took part in plays in school and college and debate and things like that. But seriously, that I will be an actor later on in life. I really didn't think about it.
You never thought of acting could be something.
No, never going in terms of, no. When I was about 10, I did the musical Annie in Bombay. And when I was about 12, I did another play in Bombay, also called I Love You, But. And I know that was my acting experience, frankly speaking. Pinne, 17 years, I was doing a lot of ads, Bombay, for TV, etc. But never acting. Acting in the main thing happened only when I went to England. And it's just like a whirlwind. It just happened. What a beautiful experience, it was to get chosen.
അതാണ് എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ എഞ്ചിനീയറായ സുചിത്ര പിള്ളൈ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ആക്ടറായിട്ട് മാറിയത്? When was that moment?
It's a interesting story, and Sanish, I never get fed up of telling you this because it's what changed my life,
Okay.
And Jennifer Jaffrey was a casting director in London. Saeed Jaffrey, or actor,
his
second wife. Yeah. So she was a casting director there. I was with a model agency in London, not with any acting agency or anything. I'd never trained in acting at all.
Okay.
I was 22 years old. And they suddenly one day got a call from Jennifer Jaffrey saying we are casting for a French movie about the dowry system in India. And yeah, we're looking for the lead girl. Okay. It's a serious movie with French actors and all of this. But we're looking, do you have any girl? And they said, oh, we've got one Indian girl. We don't even know if she acts. Maybe you can try her. I was the only Indian they had on their books. So they called me up and they said, would you like to try this? So I went for the audition.
Okay.
I was actually a hostess in a restaurant there called the Bombay Brasserie. I used to wear a sari every day during the day and I would meet the guests and sit them down and very wonderful experience I had.
Okay.
Meeting all film stars and pop stars. That's another story. Anyway, they said, you want to go? And I said, okay. So I went in my sari for this audition. Kore actresses on testing for this part, Indian, British and Asian girls. Kore actresses who were all trained actresses, or studying in RADA, SHADA, all of these colleges, which I had no idea also.
Okay.
22 years old. I was, 22 years old at that point. And I said, chalo, let's just do this.
Okay.
She had given us 2 scenes of this movie, which were very serious scenes, where you had to break down and cry at the end of the scene, where I was begging that character had to beg this French actress to get her out of this dowry situation that she is in. Okay, that was the scene. And the other scene was where she's lying burnt in the hospital. Okay, so where you don't move, you're just... Anyway, she gave us 10 minutes to do this scene, to study the lines. And Anyan cared to, the girl before me, Anyan cared to what she was telling Jennifer. She said, oh, Jennifer, you gave us 10 minutes to get into the skin of this character and we really couldn't. And so she did her reading and she left. Okay. It was my turn. I went in there and Jennifer was looking me up and down and she said, who are you and where are you from? And I said, I'm Suchitra and I've just come from India. I just arrived, maybe about less than a year ago, to London. And she said, okay, please sit down. Let's do the reading. I said, ma'am, I would like to act out the scenes for you.
Okay.
So she said, okay. I said, I'd like to just act out, use the space. If you play the other role. So she said, fine. How long have you been acting? So I said, it's my first audition. Yeah. So she was quite amused. Then she said, okay, here, use the script. I said, no, I don't need the script. I've memorized the scene.
Wow. Confidence.
So she said, yeah. So I'll do engineering. you ratify in engineering, you sit and study, So she said, I said, if I forget some lines or whatever, I'll make it up along the way,
Oh.
At the end of the 2 scenes, the second scene, Sanish, the second scene where I had to break down and cry, I was so into that scene. I had actually broken down and I was howling my guts out and I was begging at her feet, and she was sitting on the sofa and I will never forget her face, Sanish, because she picked me up, because I was still in it after she said, wow, okay, stop, I was still crying. Yeah, because I was so into the scene. And she caught me and she put me on the side next to her on the sofa. And she looked me straight in the eye and she said, please tell me the truth now, Suchitra. How many years have you been acting? And I said, ma'am, this is my first audition. And she said, this is what you need to be doing for the rest of your life. You know that. And that's what changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, literally that. So that's how my life changed. And I got...
അതിന് മുമ്പ് പക്ഷെ ഒരിക്കലും ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ട് പോലുമില്ല ആക്ടിംഗ് പെർസ്യൂ ചെയ്യാന്ന്.
No, didn't even think about it. I had done a few music videos in England. Bali Sagu in the Dil Cheese, Apache Indian in the arranged marriage video. Via the model agency. I had done all of that via the model agency. But acting wise, nothing. The first thing I did was getting the lead role.
True. പക്ഷെ മാം അവിടെയും ആക്ടിംഗ് വേണ്ടി വരുന്നല്ലേ ഈവൻ ടു ബി ഓൺ എ മ്യൂസിക്കൽ വീഡിയോ ഓൾസോ നമുക്ക് കുട്ടി ആക്ടിംഗിൽ വേണ്ടി വരുന്നല്ലേ?
Yeah, but that was because I think I was comfortable in front of a camera. ഈ modeling ഒക്കെ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലേ?
Okay.
I was comfortable in front of a camera and being directed by someone to say, oh, you do this, do that. I was happy doing it, But it didn't take much intensity or anything like that. അവിടെ script ഒക്കെ ഒന്നുമില്ല. You're doing a music video, you're dancing around, that type of thing. So that's what changed my life. And then I was shortlisted. The following week, the director came from France. I was chosen. And the following week, I was in Sri Lanka for 6 weeks in a 5-star hotel shooting this movie as the lead actress in this movie. So that's my introduction to it, which is why I think, and Saeed Jaffrey played my father in this movie. So I think he had sent back some reports to Jennifer saying that, so when I came back to England, she said, I'm going to start an agency for actors and you are my first client.
Wow.
So she became my She became like a mentor who would. Then she is the one who told me that it's very, very important to do theatre, because to be taken seriously in England, you have to do theatre.
Okay.
I did radio dramas, I did children's theatre, I did regular theatre, all of that. And that's how I built up my body of work slowly. And that's the rest is history.
Okay. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കഥയിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നത് ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഫോറിൻ ആണ്. ഈ ഫോറിനിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് സ്ട്രേറ്റ് അവേ ഒരു ഫ്ലൈറ്റ് പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ബോംബെയിലേക്ക് എത്താം. ബോംബെയിൽ എത്തിയതിനു ശേഷം എനിക്ക് ഇനി അറിയേണ്ടത് ബോംബെയിൽ നിന്ന് ബോളിവുഡിലേക്കുള്ള ആ ഒരു ജേർണി. ഹൗ ഡിഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഹാപ്പൻ?
So that, of course, I mean, the first thing that happened when I came back, I was 27. Yeah, I was about 27. 27 വയസ്സ്, when I came back. And I was separated from my husband at the time. Sadly, we had a separation, and luckily there were no children there. But I came back to my parents' house, and I just said to them, because they opened with wide open arms. I was the first ever divorce in my mother's side of the family. It was unheard of. But they were just like, no, we're here with you. And it wasn't an ugly divorce or anything. I mean, I love him and his family. God bless them. So it was just a drifting apart of two people.
Okay.
I mean, it's a wonderful family. They're, wonderful people. They allowed me to become Suchitra Pillai, my acting and everything like that. Anyway, I came back to India. My parents, Achan, Amma, first divorce in my mother's side of the family, everything. But they were just like, no, we're here for you,
Okay.
which I'll always appreciate. And
Okay.
one thing I told them is that I will do something with my life. I will make something of myself on my own steam without, stepping on anybody's toes, without doing anything bad towards the values that they had instilled in me. That much I had promised them. So now the idea was, Vaisai or divorce you, comes to Bombay. What else do you do?
Sure.
Now, that time, music channels like MTV and Channel V were really huge. Yeah. And I said, wow, this is great. This is wonderful. Nevertheless, I met the GM of the general manager of the channel at a party in Bombay. One party
Yes.
that was going. A British guy called Jules
Okay.
Fuller. He was at this party. And I had just come back from England, and he was British. So he was just like, oh, you've come from London. And he says, oh, I'm the GM of this channel. It's called Channel V. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm the general manager of this channel. I said, yes, I've seen the channel. It's wonderful, but it's your loss because I'm not on your channel. And he was like, what? I
Confidence
said,
again.
That's exactly what I said. It's a wonderful channel. Yeah, I said, it's a wonderful channel, but it's your loss that I'm not on it. And he said, do you really mean that? I said, of course I mean that. So he said, will you put your money where your mouth is? I'll give you an audition. I said, sure. Why not? And the following week, I had an audition. They just put me in front of the camera and they said, create your own countdown show for songs. Create it now in 10 minutes. Yeah, without a script. I just created my own show and I started talking continuously, made up songs, made up this, that, and all, continued. 2 weeks later, had gone to Hong Kong for approval. 2 weeks later, they called me and they said, you're on and we are creating a show for you called Simply South. And that's how Simply South, my show, which had all South Indian music, right? It was only South Indian language music, which was entirely my show. They created that show for me and that's how they launched me on Channel V. And basically, I thoroughly enjoyed that because they gave me a lot of leeway, to do whatever it is I wanted to do as far as that show was concerned. Every week I would go to Chennai shooting. We used to shoot there for my show. And I did mad things. I would be a coconut water seller. I would be a South Indian policeman. I would dress up like that, all strange type of characters and add whatever I wanted to the script. And so that was, so Channel V is what started it out. Other kind of, people saw me on TV. Then word of mouth starts, oh, who's this? She's, we remember seeing her years ago, 7-8 years ago on TV ad. She's come back, that kind of talk. And another great thing that happened for me is as soon as I came back, I got introduced to Lilette Dubé, who was doing Dance Like a Man, the play. And she was looking for somebody to play her daughter in it, a double role. And that was way back in 1997. And I'm still doing that play with Lilette, with Joyce and Gupta 25 years later. And we just finished our 659th show of the play on Sunday.
Congrats on that, ma'am.
So it's a crazy life, Sanish. Plan nothing happens. The best life happens when you don't make plans. It's life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. I live by that motto, literally. And you just welcome it with open arms because you're the one who's been given that opportunity to experience that part of life. And why not? Who are you to say no to it? That's always been my mantra. So that, and then after that, one thing after another, and then Bollywood, then TV serials started coming. Margarita, Hip Hip Hooray, I started doing that. Adu kayinnittanu Farhan Akhtar in the phone call vannu. You know, now he was a friend of mine. He was 26 years old at that time. And he had come and hung out with us in London when I lived there, etc.
Okay.
Hilarious, witty human being, you know, he's just wonderful, too talented, Farhan. ഒരു ദിവസം ഫറാനിന്റെ ഫോൺ വന്നു, പറഞ്ഞു, സുചി, ഞാനൊരു ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫിലിം ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നു, ദിൽ ചാത്താ ഹെ, എന്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിന്റെ പറ്റിയാണ്, ഇറ്റ്സ് അബൌട്ട് ഓൾ ഓഫ് ദിസ്, നീ ഒരു റോള് ചെയ്യണു. I said, oh, okay. Cheyano means what, you know, really? So he said, no, you're doing it.
Okay.
So I said, oh, okay, fine. And he said, just come to the office. Anyway, we'll have a chat about it. I went to the office. In the office with him is Saif Ali Khan. And he said, oh, Suchi, come, meet. This is your co-star.
Okay.
And I said,
And
what?
Okay.
He said, yeah, this is
You
your
were
co-star.
starstruck at that time.
I was like, wow, I've never been starstruck. You've seen all these people all around, yeah. You know, there's no point being starstruck. Everyone is their own person, yeah. You know, they're all doing their job and that's all there is to it. That's how I believe life, you know.
Okay.
Each one to his own, you know. But I saw him and I was like, wow. And he said, yeah, you know, this is your co-star. And I said, so what, are we doing an audition? And he said, no audition. Actually, there's a scene where y'all are running on the beach. Both of you stand up and start running on the spot. So that was the audition. Standing, me and Saif in his office, pretending to run. That was it. So, and that's how Dil Chahta Hai happened. And it is still talked about today. I mean, so many years later. That role of that one slap. Yeah.
That made all the difference.
It did.
അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ദിൽ ചാത്തായ സംഭവിച്ചത്. How was life after that? How much did things change in your life?
A lot. Things did change quite a bit because soon after Dil Chahta Hai, one thing after another started happening. Thanks to Raveena Tandon, who is a childhood friend, I got a small role in Satta, Madhur Bhandarkar's Satta. After that, he started using me in all his films, like a lucky mascot, as he called me. You know, Fashion, Page 3, Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji. You know, so I did a lot of those, lot of these smaller roles. But each role that I've done has been quite, you know, well defined, I would have to say. And I had the opportunity of working with brilliant directors like Madhur, Pradeep Sarkar, you know, Farhan Akhtar. I mean, Goldie Behel. You know, the list is endless. Rajat Kapoor, Shashank, you know, Shah, lots of people. So it's been a wonderful journey, and life, yes, definitely changed. But then I was also doing TV at the same time as film. I was also a VJ, so it has always been one thing into another. My singing was also happening at the same time, so I'm doing all of that together. My, you know, Sanish, I always say, you know, one life to live, you know, so you might as well pack it in with whatever you can.
മാം, ഒരു റൂമർ ഉണ്ട്, അത് മാമിനോട് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ടായിരുന്നു. കാരണം നേരിട്ട് കാണുമ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കാമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ട്. ഇറ്റ് സീംസ് ലൈക്ക് യു വർ ഓഡിഷൻ for a role opposite Amir Khan, that too in Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. Satyano? I
wasn't even auditioned. I was actually offered the role. I was offered Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, Aisha Julka's role, not without even an audition. When I was in my engineering first year.
You said no to it.
I said no to it because they had seen me in my ads and all, and I said no because they had wanted 6 months out of my engineering. You know, they said you'll have to give up engineering for about 6 months, and I was in my first year. And then no, parnada enikku arnida. But then again, anganeyum parnal, you know, my life might have been different. It might have been, I may not have had all the opportunities that I have now, that I've done right now, and the things that I've done and worked abroad and, you know, done 2 Hollywood films and won awards. All of that may not have even happened had I chosen that rather than this. So I no regrets. No regrets. The only regret is our part. Pehla Nasha, Pehla Huma.
Yes.
That's the only regret I have. Yeah, that one song I would have loved to be part of that song.
അല്ല മാം, ബോധർ ചെയ്യണ്ട. കാരണം എന്താ പറയുക, ബോളിവുഡിനോട് നോ പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ പ്രശ്നം? പോട്ടെ, നമുക്ക് ഹോളിവുഡ് വന്നില്ലേ. ഐ വാണ്ട് ടു ആസ്ക് യു അബൌട്ട് യുവർ ഹോളിവുഡ് പ്രോജക്ട്സ് ആക്ച്വലി. അതെന്ത് സംഭവിച്ചു? അതെങ്ങനെ ഇവിടുന്ന് അങ്ങോട്ട് പിന്നെ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്ത്?
Yeah, that was wonderful actually. I got seen for both my projects here in India. The first one was for 20th Century Fox, a film called The Other Side of the Door, horror genre, I know.
Okay.
You know, I think I have this thing about horror. As you know, in Malayalam, I've also done horror. But, you know, I was tested for that one, and they were looking for a 65-year-old woman to play the housekeeper in this movie.
Okay.
And it was with, you know, being shot in India, the actors from there. Sarah Wayne Kelly's the actress from Prison Break, Walking Dead. She was the lead actress. Only for 2 children, two of them and me in the whole movie. And I did the audition, and the director and all said, yeah, but she's very young. We're looking for a 65-year-old, and I'd done the audition. And I said, yeah, so, I mean, they liked the audition, right? And they said, yeah, they liked the audition, but they're like, but she looks young. I was still there. I was still in my 40s. They said, no, we're looking for a 65-year-old. And I said, no, please slap on the makeup and slap on the prosthetics, do whatever you want, make me look old. And they said, seriously? They said, you're the first actress who have said, make me look old. Because we looked at a lot of actors over here, and they were all like, if you want me to look old, just add one line here and one line there. I said, no, please make me look old. I don't care. I'd love to. And so that audition went really well.
നമ്മുടെ മല്ലു സീക്രട്ട് അവരുടെ കയ്യിലില്ലല്ലോ.
ഇല്ല. So anyway, I did that role. Other guy need to also seen over here for a film called The Valley, which I'm so close to. That film is it's what got me Best Actress in Milan and at the Long Island International Film Festival. After 23 years in the business, to get Best Actress award, and that to an international award, was just eye-opening moment for me. This is a very, very sensitive film about teenage depression. It was, about that. And I play the mother of a girl who commits suicide. And it's all happens between present day and past, and how each one in the family is blaming themselves for what happened. So a very, very poignant film, which needs to be seen by a lot of people. It opened at the Mummy Festival over here some years ago. And but we shot in California. Me and Ali Khan were in the film as the parents, and with other actresses from there. And what a wonderful movie. And so that was my second Hollywood film.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the one that got me all these accolades. So I'm really proud of that movie, and I feel very close to that role. And came back here, and I continued to do whatever it is that comes my way. And OTT has been a resurrection for all of us. I've done so much of work. Touch wood, thank God. I feel blessed that I've had all the opportunity. COVID, and just forget about COVID and all, because I got so much opportunity to do so much stuff thanks to the OTT platforms, and that's been absolutely wonderful. So it's been a journey, Sanish. I've seen the beginning of television here. I've seen movies like Dil Chahta Hai. I've seen, wonderful things like Channel V. I've been a compere, an anchor. I've been a radio jockey. I've always had my finger in many pies, a TV presenter. I do dubbings now, foreign actresses in Hindi for all their movies, like Meryl Streep, Angelina Jolie, Kate Blanchett, all of them. When people say, why so many things? And I say, why not so many things? If you're a chosen one who's been given so many opportunities, who are you to say no?
True.
That's my logic. And, you just need to make the most of whatever you're given. And I just feel I'm so humbled and I'm so blessed that, at my age 52, I'm still getting the work that I'm getting. And I love it. I love my job. Totally love my job. Doing, as I said, 659th show of a play. Yeah. After 25 years, still doing the same play. We've performed across the world. Yeah. And with the same passion and with the same energy that we did it when we did the first show. It proves that I love my job. I just give it my all. And I think that stood me in good stead up to now.
Wow. ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മാം ഒരു ചോദ്യം ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കാൻ മുമ്പ് ചെറിയൊരു വശം മാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു സുചിത്ര പിള്ളൈ എന്നൊരു ക്യാരക്ടർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു വ്യക്തിയെ നമുക്കൊരു വസ്തുവായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയതുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് ഞാനിത് പറയുന്നതിന്റെ കാരണം വെച്ച് ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ഇന്റർവ്യൂസ് കണ്ടതിന് ശേഷം മാം സംസാരിക്കുന്ന വശങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയത് ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞ വെള്ളം പോലെയാണെന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. അതായത് എവിടെയാണ് ഇരിക്കുന്നത്, ഏത് രൂപത്തിലാണ് അഡാപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധ്യതയുള്ളത്. നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ആക്ടിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്, തിയേറ്റർ ഉണ്ട്, അതേസമയം കോമ്പയറിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്, അതേസമയം ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്നു. മാം ആസ് എൻ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞ ഇത്തരത്തിലെ ഒരു മൾട്ടി ഫാസറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മറ്റ് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് ഹൗ മച്ച് ഡസ് ദാറ്റ് റിയലി ഹെൽപ്പ് യു ഇൻ യുവർ ക്രാഫ്റ്റ്?
It's helped me immensely.
Okay.
Immensely, because being an actor, it's all about noticing. It's all about studying what's going on around you. Various careers that I have done, meeting different types of people. As an actor, that adds so much, because straight away, if now they tell me, oh, you've got to play a radio jockey, I know how to play a radio jockey because I was one. If they ask me, to just play a TV presenter, I know how to do that because I was one. Yeah, it's not trying to act then, it's you've already been there. And also meeting the different types of people. It's been an amazing journey, and I think each and every stage of my life, all the things that I have done has made me what I am today. It really has. And thank God for the family that I have who have been so supportive, as to where I am, what has got me to where I am today, it has a lot to do with them as well. So yeah, it's fantastic.
നെറ്റ്ഫ്ലിക്സ് എടുത്താലും ഹോട്ട്സ്റ്റാർ എടുത്താലും പ്രൈം എടുത്താലും എല്ലായിടത്തും ഒരു സുചിത്ര മയം എന്ന് പറയില്ലേ, അത് കാണുന്നുണ്ട്.
നെറ്റ്ഫ്ലിക്സിൽ കുറെ ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ? Yeah, I know there are quite in Netflix ഉണ്ട്, Amazon ഉണ്ട്. I know it's true, but it's who doesn't want to be a darling of the OTT platforms now? So I'm not completely.
മലയാളത്തിലെ KPS ലളിത എന്നൊരു നടിയുണ്ട്, പുള്ളിക്കാരി ഇപ്പോഴില്ല. KPS ലളിത പുള്ളിക്കാരി വളരെ വേഴ്സറ്റൈൽ ആയിട്ട് സീനിയർ ആക്ടറാണ്. എനിക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും തോന്നിയിട്ട് ഒരു കാര്യം എന്താ പറയുക, മാമിന് അതിന്റെ ഒരു ട്രേസ് ഉണ്ട്, ഒരു ഇംബൈബ് ചെയ്തൊരു ക്യാരക്ടർ ഉണ്ട്. പല ഷെയ്ഡ്സും എന്തും ചെയ്യാം, ഏത് ക്യാരക്ടറും ചെയ്യാം, കയറാം ഇറങ്ങാം, ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക ഒരു ബാഗേജ് ഇല്ല, പിന്നെ ഒരു ഇൻസെക്യൂരിറ്റിയും പലപ്പോഴും കാണുന്നില്ല. Which is a good thing, if you ask me. Which is there.
Yeah, Sunny, ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ, that is one big thing that is there. This whole insecurity thing, trying to undercut somebody else, not giving phone numbers, not being, എങ്ങനെ, I don't understand that logic, ഇവിടെ എഴുതിയിട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നു everybody, what they say, നസീബ് mein likha hai, it's written. Yeah, what is yours will be yours no matter what. Why do you have to step on somebody else's toes, or why do you have to take away an opportunity from somebody else when it is meant for them? The fact that if you can help somebody out, and there is work for everybody. What is to come to you will come to you. If you have your talent and you believe in your talent, I've always believed that it will come to you and nobody else. Yeah. Okay. So my biggest thing, I think, and I learned that a lot when I worked in that restaurant in England, is, humility forms a large part of what makes it all worthwhile in our industry.
Okay.
There is no point putting yourself up on any sort of pedestal. People ask me till today, Sanish, 30 kalam, varshamai, and I still never used a secretary. I still have never used a manager. I don't have my own staff. I don't have my own spot boy. 30 years in the industry, and I still don't do do that. And they say, Suchi, what's wrong with you? Just act like a diva sometimes. Do this sometimes, do that sometimes. People will take you more seriously, but it is not me.
Okay.
I'm there to do my job, and that's what I'm there to do. Yeah, I love my job. I love my acting, and that's what I'm there to do. Not to pretend to be somebody else and to throw my weight around and, to act this way or act that way. That's not me. That is not Suchi, and I don't intend to be that way. So, that's why I think work has come to me, touch wood, because I've got goodwill in the industry. I know people. I stay in touch with people, and I do my work. Or a project immediately after that, I pick up the phone and I'm making calls to casting directors. I'm making calls to directors, and I'm saying, till today, I'm 52 years old, and I call them up and I say, this is finished. I've finished a project. I'm free. By the way, kuch ho raha hai kya? I call them up and I say that, zero ego. I don't care. I love my work, and I will do what it takes to get more work. So, of course, let's not go the other way. Do what it takes to get more work can be taken another way, which I have never gone. Oh God, those have been some funny stories as well.
Okay.
Madam, korchu compromise venam. Yeah, and that's it's crazy. But, one always has to stick with one's values. But yeah, as I said, there's work for everybody here. And so the question of being insecure doesn't come into my picture. No.
Okay. ബോളിവുഡിന്റെ കഥയാണ് ഇപ്പൊ കേട്ടത്. മോളിവുഡിലും വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഒപ്പത്തിൽ അഭിനയിച്ചു, കോൾഡ് കേസിൽ അഭിനയിച്ചു. What was a major difference you felt working in Malayalam industry at the same time in Bollywood?
I've loved it, I totally loved it. It was just so smooth. Both the projects, absolutely smooth. First one, Priyadarshan is a friend of my uncle and aunt, and also another friend of mine in Bombay, Bhavna, has acted in a movie of his. And she was chatting with him, and he said, I'm looking for somebody to play the principal of this school. But, even though there are small scenes or whatever, it needs to be somebody who, is powerful. And she said, why don't you, Bhavna said, why don't you look at Suchitra? And sure enough, same time, he had met my uncle and aunt, my mother's brother and wife. And they said, yeah, Suchitra is there in Bombay. And he was like, okay. So that's how I got Oppam. And no audition, nothing. He just said, you're doing the movie. And what an experience to work with Mohanlal. I mean, to have those scenes with Mohanlal, just what an experience. And Priyadarshan as well. He's just wonderful, Priyan sir. He knows what he wants. You come onto that set and he knows what he wants. You don't need to have storyboard, nothing. Yeah, tuck, quick. That's the firth thing I noticed. Even when I did Tanu Balak's Cold Case, with Aditi, and Aditi, I love Aditi Balan. She's wonderful. Prithviraj, I didn't get to work with him. We're in the same movie, but I didn't get to work with him. But a wonderful actor, him too. With Tanu, it was also wonderful. What a man, what a gentleman, and what a down to earth, humble human being. He makes such wonderful movies and, just so down to earth. It's just, that is one thing I love about the South industry. Everyone, be it a Mohanlal or be it, someone starting out, they're just so wonderful to newcomers, to somebody who's just starting out there or whatever. The first time I went to Cochin, we were shooting in Cochin for Opam. The first day, so Mohanlal said, "Oh, so what do you like?" I said, "Yeah, I love Malayali food and I don't get enough of it in Bombay."
Okay.
He, without saying anything, he ordered an entire spread of every type of Mallu food possible for lunch. And he said, "You will eat lunch with me and Priyan today and sit down here." I said, "Thank God I was wearing a nun's outfit because my stomach was so full by the end of that lunch." But wonderful, wonderful people. And smooth the way they work, really smooth. The professionalism. They say it's going to take this much time, it will take only this much time, and that's what I would love to do more work in the South. I am lucky that I got two different types of roles to play. I mean, the blind clairvoyant in Cold Case, which many people got scared of also. But I seem to have this thing about horror. Yes. Then you must have not seen Betal on Netflix.
No,
that's another horror one. What is, Karanam, come on, Sanish, it's 4 parts. You got to watch it. That you will see me in another avatar as well. You must see it. It's like watching a movie. It's 4 parts. So just 4 episodes. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's been wonderful. And anyone listening, directors in the South, please call Suchi back there because I would love to work in more South movies.
ഇനിയും കാണുന്ന ഒരുപാട് ആഗ്രഹങ്ങളുണ്ട്.
Thank you.
നമുക്ക് ഇനി അടുത്ത റൗണ്ടിലേക്ക് പോകാം. നമ്മള് ഒരു പേറ്റന്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് ചിന്തിച്ച് കൂട്ടിയ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് ബ്രെയിൻ സ്റ്റോമിംഗ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിച്ച് കിട്ടിയ റൗണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ അതിന് തീ റൗണ്ട് എന്നാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്.
Means must be like rapid fire or something.
Yeah, exactly, ma'am. ബോളിവുഡിൽ തന്നെ റാപ്പിഡ് ഫയർ എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്, നമുക്ക് അതിനെ തീവ്രത്തി എന്ന് വിളിച്ചാൽ മതി.
തീവ്രത്തി റൗണ്ടിൽ പോവാം ഇപ്പം.
മാമിന്റെ കുറച്ച് മലയാളം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ കേരള കോഷ്യന്റ് അളക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു മൂവ് ആണ്
നോക്കട്ടെ. അയ്യോ, I must not embarrass myself. Okay.
ഇന്റൻഷൻ ഒന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ, മാമിനെ എങ്ങനെ കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന്. കാരണം എന്നെ ഒന്ന് പേടിപ്പിച്ചതാണല്ലോ, അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് തിരിച്ച് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് പേടിപ്പിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയൊരു അവസരമാണത്. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ആ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒന്ന് ചോദിക്കാൻ പോവാണ്. ഓണവുമായി റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. നെയിം 5 items in a Kerala Sadhya.
അയ്യോ, lovely. സാമ്പാർ,
okay,
ഓലൻ, കാളൻ, പുളിയിഞ്ചി and അവിയൽ.
ഓക്കെ, ഞാനത് പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചില്ല. കുഴപ്പമില്ല. അടുത്ത
കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
അല്ല, ഞാൻ പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചു ഉത്തരം തരില്ല എന്ന് എന്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു പറയാം. ഉത്തരം കിട്ടിയെന്ന് പറയാം.
You think I don't know things about Kerala? Wait, come on.
കേരളത്തിൽ എത്ര ജില്ലകളുണ്ട്? How many districts are there in Kerala?
14 or 16? 14.
Yes, you're right, ma'am. Ma'am, ഈ 14 ജില്ലകൾക്ക് പേരുകൾ പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? Can you list them out? Is that possible?
I'll try.
Yeah.
തിരുവനന്തപുരം, കോഴിക്കോട്, തൃശൂർ, പാലക്കാട്, ആലപ്പുഴ. And I know a few more. Come on.
ഞാനിപ്പോ അവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്നേ കൊച്ചി തന്നെ. അതിന് എറണാകുളം.
Ernakulam, correct.
Yes.
And Kozhikode I said. Then there's one more K one. I'll tell you. Kannur is there.
Palakkad,
of course.
One Malayalam word you use very frequently.
Rendu words under which.
Okay.
Alla pinne. That is one. And when I'm irritated, alavaladi. That is one. So those are 2 words. Yes.
Your favorite Malayalam actor and actress?
I'm partial towards Mohanlal, I would have to say, because one has acted with him and I've seen his the way he acts. It's wonderful. I love Mammootty also since my childhood. So yeah, I'm boring like that. I'm saying Mammootty and Mohanlal. Actress, I have to say, Aditi, because she was in because she was in Cold Case with me. I have to say she was a wonderful, wonderful actress to work with.
Okay.
I had a wonderful time with her, so I like her. Manju Warrier,
wow,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Is there any one iconic Malayalam film dialogue you like it so much? ഒരു iconic ആയിട്ടുള്ള film dialogue മലയാളത്തില്?
ഈ പ്രപഞ്ചത്തിൽ ഇല്ലോജിക്കൽ തോട്ട്സ് ആണ് കൂടുതൽ മേധ. കടലോളമുണ്ട് ഉത്തരം കിട്ടാത്ത ചോദ്യങ്ങളും കണ്ടെത്താത്ത രഹസ്യങ്ങളും. What am I talking about, Sanish? പേടിയായില്ലേ? പേടിച്ചു. That is my own dialogue from Cold Case.
ഞാൻ ഈ ഒന്നാമത് തന്നെ ഫുള്ള് ഇരുട്ടാണ്.
ബ്ലാക്കില് I saw your face കുറച്ച്.
ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നമുക്ക് മാറ്റാം പെട്ടെന്ന്. One Malayalam song which is there in your mind.
Oh God, this y'all won't even imagine.
Please.
Since I was a child, me and my cousin used to sing a funny version of this song. Kadalina kana ponore, kana pinnana ponore, poi varumbol endu kandu varum. That's much I can remember.
That's a good one. One wrong notion about Malayalis generally people have. It's something you want to clear.
People think all Malayalis speak with an accent. I don't think that's true. That's one thing they need to get out of their system. They just need to look at Mr. Shashi Tharoor and they would know. I think that's one notion I would want to change about people, what they think about Malayalis. Yeah.
The last one, what makes Malayali truly special?
What makes Malayalis special is the fact that they're very welcoming. In a Malayali's house for the first time, and you'll feel just as comfortable as if you've known them forever. And that I've seen. Not only with my relatives and everything and how welcoming they are, but everywhere. Even when I travel in the south, in Kerala, it's just so prevalent. They're just so welcoming. That's one. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. സത്യം പറഞ്ഞ റൗണ്ട് തീർന്നു കൊടുക്കാമെന്നൊക്കെ വിചാരിച്ചു കാര്യമായിട്ട് ഒന്നും നടന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് മാർക്ക് ഞാൻ ഫുൾ മാർക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് തന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞു.
പ്രസന്റ് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഗിഫ്റ്റ് for winning that round?
സ്നേഹം മാം, ഒരുപാട് സ്നേഹം.
അല്ല പിന്നെ സനീഷ്
അതൊക്കെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞു പറയരുത്.
സെക്കൻഡ്
മാം, ഇനി ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് വളരെ റിയലിസ്റ്റിക് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ മാം എപ്പോഴും സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു ഫ്ലാഷ് ബാക്കിലേക്ക് പോകുകയാണ്. മാം ഒരു ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിൽ ഒരു വീഡിയോയിൽ പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യമാണ്, ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ വളർന്ന സമയത്ത് യു ഹാഡ് എ വെരി ഹംബ്ലിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ചൈൽഡ്ഹുഡ് ആയിരുന്നു, ഒരുപാട് കാശൊന്നും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. പലപ്പോഴും ചെരുപ്പ് വാങ്ങുമ്പോൾ പോലും ഇപ്പൊ ചെരുപ്പ് തേഞ്ഞു പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ യു സെഡ് ലൈക്ക് കാർഡ്ബോർഡിന്റെ നമ്മൾ ഹീൽസോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ടാണ്
സ്കൂൾ ഷൂസില് ഈ ക്യാൻവസ് ഷൂസില്
അതൊക്കെ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് മാനേജ് ചെയ്തത്.
Yes, because we were never paupers. We were never like that. Always had a roof over our head and good food and everything like that. There were times like this, atra paisa onnillarnu, and my parents were just starting out. My mother was not working at that time. My father was, and he had 2 children to take care of. And children being children, pare canvas shoes which we used to wear in school are not like the Nikes and the Reeboks you wear now. So. With all the sports and this and that in the school, they would rub off, the rubber sole would rub off. But moon masam to buy shoes is, was a little expensive for 2 kids. So what we used to do is our shoes in the cardboard, we cut out cardboard and keep it in there just to make it last a little bit longer. Certain things like that make you feel, that's why I tell my daughter, the importance, not only the importance of money, the respect for money and how what all people have to do to make it. So yeah.
മാം, അതാണ് എന്റെ ചോദ്യം. ഒരുപക്ഷെ അത്തരത്തിലൊരു ഹംബ്ലിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ചൈൽഡ്ഹുഡ് ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണോ മാം ഇന്ന് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ യു സേ ദാറ്റ് ഒരു ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന നിലയിൽ പ്ലാൻ എ മാത്രം പോരാ, പ്ലാൻ എ ബി സി ഡി അതിന് അപ്പുറം വേണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓൾവേസ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ടു ഗാർഡ് യുവർ സെൽഫ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. പലപ്പോഴും മാം എല്ലാവരും പറയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് നമ്മൾ റിജക്ഷൻ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫെയിലിയറിനെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. എനിക്ക് മാമോട് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ള 2 കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. എങ്ങനെയാണ് മാം ഫെയിലിയറിനെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നതും അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം സക്സസിനെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, വിച്ച് ഈസ് ഈക്വലി ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ്, റൈറ്റ്?
Yes, absolutely. Failure, you have to use it as a stepping stone, Sanish. Ingane depression okke vannal, what's the point? What is failure? Failure means that you tried. There's still a positive, okay? Yes, you might have failed at something, but you tried. Yeah. And that should be the more important part of it, not the result. The fact that you tried and you went out there and you tried it. Yeah. So what if you failed at it? It doesn't matter. Pick up the pieces and start over. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I always believe in that. You're here today because you are strong enough. Somebody up there believes that you are strong enough to deal with every single situation that is being given to you in life. Which is why I think, failure, that's how I handle it. I don't care, it doesn't bother me like that. Or, this movie didn't do well, or that, they didn't appreciate me, or I didn't get a good review or anything like that. If you know that you have done the best to the best of your ability, it shouldn't matter. Everything else shouldn't matter. And success, how do you deal with success? Without letting it go to your head. Ivide kore kandittundu Sanish, in the industry, one kore alkara kandittundu who think no end of themselves, or a hit movie. After one hit movie, they think number 1 and number 2 and this whole number game comes into the picture. Kore experiences, I have seen at close quarters of people, and it's not nice. It's ugly. Yeah. For me, success is just appreciation of what you have done up till now, and it is your push to do even better. That's what I see success as, nothing else.
ആക്ടറായിട്ടുള്ള സുചിത്ര പിള്ള ഇത്ര മുമ്പിലേക്ക് നിൽക്കുമ്പോഴേ എവിടെയോ പാട്ടുകാരിയായ സുചിത്ര പിള്ളയെ ഒരു ബാക്ക് സീറ്റ് എടുത്ത പോലെ തോന്നുന്നില്ലേ?
Yes, I do feel sometimes because that keeps me alive. My singing really does keep me alive, and I'm waiting for my second album to release. ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് റോക്ക് ആൽബം ആണ്. ലിറിക്സ് ഒക്കെ ഞാനാണ് എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. I've written the lyrics to that. It's called History of Rock and Roll. ഇപ്പം റിലീസിന് നോക്കണു. We are waiting to see what can happen. Sadly, it was ready just before COVID struck, so that was the delay. But it's universal music. It will, it's not something that will go out of fashion. It's not that kind of music. So I'll wait and see. But singing is I love it. I totally, totally love it. Yeah, being on stage and singing live.
Wow. മാം അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ പോകുന്നേക്കാൾ മുമ്പ് നമുക്കൊരു പാട്ട് കൂടി ആയാലോ?
Okay.
മാമിന്റെ ഫേവറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള
आपकी आंखों में कुछ महके हुए से राज है, आपकी आंखों में कुछ महके हुए से राज है, आपसे भी खूबसूरत आपके अंदाज है, आपकी आंखों में कुछ महके हुए से राज है. One of my favorites.
I'm loving
and
it.
Let's do one English song as well for you. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. Friday night and the lights are low, looking out for a place to go, where they play the right music, getting in the swing. You come to look for a king, and anybody could be that guy. Night is young and the music's high, with a bit of rock music. Everything's fine and you're in the mood for a dance. And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. That's how old I am, only 17.
മാം, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ കമ്മിങ് ടു ദ ഷോ. ദിൽഷാദ് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ
my pleasure, Sunny.
മാമിന്റെ ജീവിതത്തിലുള്ള എല്ലാ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങളും നടക്കട്ടെ, എല്ലാം നല്ലതുപോലെ വരട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being on your show. Really, really, so much fun, Sunny.
Great, ma'am.
Made in Kerala, made in Kerala.
Radio City Originals.